I've read through the Motorsport Games lawsuit, so you don't have to. Let's try and cover this in just 2 laps. So, what is this lawsuit? Well, it's HC2 Holdings, which represents 704 Games, the publisher of the NASCAR Heat Series, suing Motorsport Games and Dmitry Kozko for violating fiduciary duties. First question, what is fiduciary duties? Well, it's the duty all CEOs on the entire planet have to make the shareholders of the company the most amount of money possible. In much simpler terms, HC2/704 Games are coming out and saying, this Dmitry Kozko guy is a fraudster and screwed over all the investors. In more egregious cases, or if there's a pattern of this from the same individual, this is jail time. So yeah, kind of a big deal. The saga starts in November of 2019. Motorsport Games hold a meeting with 704 Games investors, and they tell them that, oh my god, 704 Games is running out of money, the NASCAR Heat games are not selling at all. Basically, the company's a dumpster fire, and your shares are going to be completely worthless soon. Turns out this is a lie. Motorsport Games fed 704 investors outright bullshit documents. NASCAR Heat sold well, and company is profitable. So the 704 investors are like, what the fuck, the company's going to go under. Well, they discover the hard way that things aren't really adding up here. They've been told the company's failing, but Dmitry Kozko and their parent company Motorsport Games have entered an agreement. They're going to take the company public on a stock market, which is not what failing companies do. The company might be worth $100 million, and Dmitry's going to get paid out based on whatever the company ends up being valued at. You don't put these agreements in place for a failing company. Yet for whatever reason, Kozko and Motorsport Games are still asking others for money, and then trying to strong-arm 704 Games investors into selling off the rest of their shares to Motorsport Games for cheap. I use the phrase strong-arm, 704 just calls it extortion. They're the same thing. If you think it's bad now, it actually gets worse. While this is all occurring, the 704 Games investors are still shareholders of this company. Dmitry is legally obligated to tell them what's going on behind the scenes. He has a fiduciary duty to tell them, hey, we're trying to pursue all these new partnerships, and those partnerships might help inflate the value of the company. He actually does the opposite. He signs an agreement with F1 driver Fernando Alonso and includes a gag order in this agreement so the investors don't find out about it. Because if they did, they wouldn't sell Dmitry their stocks. And he didn't tell them they're pursuing the Le Mans license either. 704 Games investors sell off all their stocks because they don't know about any of this because Dmitry's hiding it from them. They get screwed out of $200 million. They make just $1.2 million. Now, why would Dmitry Kozko do this? Kozko makes $500,000 a year, can receive raises over 100% per year, and receives massive bonuses based on whatever the company's valued at. This doesn't end at Dmitry Kozko because Stephen Hood receives similar bonuses. The opening paragraph puts it best. Kozko and Motorsport Games lie to investors, straight up. I'll end this with my personal opinion. I believe Motorsport Games only snatched up all of these licenses that I'll display on the screen here to inflate the value of the company, so when it went public, Dmitry Kozko made an assload of money from all of his bonuses. It's how his agreement with Motorsport Games was structured. The license announcements were the pump part of the pump and dump scheme. And because they've gotten paid infinitely more through the IPO than they'd ever make selling an IndyCar game to 200,000 people, there isn't even a need for them to make these games. Now, here's where it gets scary. The smartest thing this company could do at this point in time to stop from losing money, as they've outlined in their Q4 2021 investor calls, is to fire literally everybody. As in, not a single employee on the payroll, so you're therefore not losing money because you're not paying anyone, and then just sit on the licenses. Maybe this is why NASCAR is hiring a gaming manager. Maybe they need someone's help to get them out of this.